to stand up to the police, to stand up to the church. I thought the cops were on my side. The church illegally Baker acted me. They're all narcissists. My parents are all narcissists. I'm trying to get out from underneath the abuse. I have autism. Mike Avila committed perjury. When I went to the judge and I asked you to help me, and you told me to plead guilty, he lied through his effing teeth. There's an audio recording of him calling me a demon, saying I have a demon, telling me he excommunicated me. He admits to knowing that I have autism. He admits to knowing that I have recordings of my parents up on the internet that I was putting up to prove my innocence, that these people are narcissists who hate me. My family does. So he admits to that. And Corey Beale in Minnesota, he conspired with after my parents.
Let me ask you a question, Neil. Is the flag an original 1920s era flag?
Yes, it is. It was from the funeral, the literal funeral.
So your flag is worth about $800.
So what you're telling me as a veteran, $800 is the only, they stole it from a mental institution, stole my flag out from under me that I'm supposed to be safe at, that the church deems that I'm necessary for, that I'm crazy, so they conspire against me, and people in there that is supposed to protect my mental health over the 4th of July stole my flag. And that's appropriate. That's appropriate behavior for a mental health hospital to steal my flag when they're in there.
I'm telling you that you can bring an action against them for at least $800.
No, I want $1 billion. I want $1 million. I want $1 million.
And now they're saying they don't have it.
It doesn't matter they don't have it. They allowed it to get stolen. The cop that took me into there, woman...
I'm agreeing with you, Neil.
I know.
Do you want to bring an action against them for $800 or more?
No, I want to sue them for $1 million. I want to sue them for everything frickin' God. And I went in there. I told the doctor. I told the doctor that I'm not nuts and that they did this to me. They violated my rights, John. The cops violated my civil rights. I wasn't investigated by Tom Boggs. Tom Boggs has a history of lying. You can look up articles on him. He shot someone, and even the investigators that looked into it said, no, we think you're lying. But they cleared him, but he literally lied. And I have text messages with him for a month, and they were trying to Baker Act me. He said, I'm trying to investigate this church. No.
Well, they did, Neil.
No, they didn't investigate. If they investigated, they would have found, he's right. Neil is under narcissistic parents. I have recordings with the Winter Springs police that my parents call the cops and use them to threaten me all the time. I have that in Winter Springs police. That's what they started. I recorded my sister. I put it up on the internet in April because they pushed me to the point of suicide. And I decided to live, and that's why I started recording this to prove my innocence. But no one in this fucking country gives a shit. No one. They just go straight to the police. Neil's a problem. Let's call the fucking police. And I'm asking you for your help as a veteran. And
let me tell you what can be done, okay?
I want you told me to plead guilty. You told me to plead guilty. You weren't willing to fight for my innocence when I called you the first time.
Neil.
No, that's the truth. You told me to plead guilty. You refused to listen to me, and you told me to plead guilty. That's what you did. You said it'd be $500 and I go there and plead guilty. And I was asking you to protect my innocence. And you're a former veteran. And this is what you tell me. It's okay for the church to lock me up against my will and steal my flag and use the police against me when I was trying to find God and love and peace and joy and contentment and happiness. And I had that. They couldn't fucking stand that I found God and I was fucking happy. And they took that from me. They took the flag over the 4th of July. The 4th of July! And you're telling me it's $800. My police officer uncle's flag that he died for in the line of duty is only worth $800. But yet, we got fucking lawyers. We won $800 billion. We won $1 billion. And you're telling me as a lawyer that I had to plead guilty? You weren't even going to fight for my defense?
I wasn't your lawyer.
No, but you told me for $500 to plead guilty, and that's what you do.
I'm sorry?
You did. I called you, I asked you about this. I said I need a lawyer to help me with this injunction hearing against this lying, asshole, narcissistic piece of shit who claims to be a man of God, who doesn't offer any repentance, doesn't offer any mercy or grace or any forgiveness, none. Because I stood up to him. He's the president of the musicians union in town. He refused to pay his musicians at this church. I stood up and I said, hey, you've been president for how long? Of the union. He does all the contracts with Disney, and he doesn't pay his own musicians. And on Father's Day, he got up and said, oh, I got a job, because I called the union in New York. I said, is it okay for him to not pay his musicians? And they clearly didn't. He had to resign. They kicked him out. That's why he came after me to Baker Act me, because I was standing up for my faith. He calls me a demon. I said, my parents are evil. And they're demonic. Oh, well then, no, I'm the demonic evil one because he refused to give me love. And you support this. This church teaches it's okay to kill black people. I have audio recordings, video recordings of all this. I can back this up 1,000,000,000%. No jury would fucking convict me. Or they would find me completely innocent. I can prove it.
I don't doubt anything you say, Neil. What I'm trying to convey to you is what can you do in a court of law? And what you can do in a court of law is, number one, the doctor did find you incompetent at the time. So it doesn't, you don't have a real case that you can bring against the police or the church.
Yes, I do. I'm telling you, I do. I'm totally competent.
Because the doctor found you incompetent. What you can do...
I had recordings. I have recordings and videos, and I told him to listen to my evidence and I'm not nuts. And he refused. So he's lying on paperwork, official paperwork, to back them up. This place is a meat market. He spent less than 2 fucking minutes with me. I am not incompetent. I'm not nuts. I can back up who I say I am. I can back up with everything with evidence. I'm autistic. I have autism. There are plenty of people with autism who know that they have past lives. There are plenty of people that have birthmarks and can say this is where I got hurt. There is scientific evidence on the internet to back this up. Reincarnation is real. I know who I am. I am not incompetent. These are a bunch of fucking fools. And you're going to partake and call me incompetent and not help me. So as a former veteran, as someone who fought for this country, you're going to just allow these assholes to roll over and fuck me over like this. This is...
I'm waiting for you to stop talking so I can talk.
I have autism. I ramble. We do things called info dumping. And I want help. I'm asking for help. I'm sick of being told I'm not believable or that I'm wrong. I'm sick of it. I'm not wrong.
All right, can I talk now?
Yes.
Okay. You have 2 credible options that you can take. My advice to you, if you want to pursue an action against the church or against this police officer or against your parents, is to talk to a civil litigation law firm, not about the things that you've been saying they did, but about how they have affected you. The charge, the tort that you're looking for is intentional infliction of emotional distress.
Oh, I have plenty of evidence for you. I have plenty of evidence for that.
Listen, I can't take this case, but I don't do that kind of litigation. But I'm telling you, write this down, okay, Neil?
Yeah.
Intentional infliction of emotional distress.
Yeah, I've called other lawyers and no one helps me.
There are many ways to win and lose an argument, okay? So I'm trying to school you as a lawyer that the approach you want to take is these people have caused you great distress and they did it intentionally. What you can't do, what you can't win on, is trying to argue that they said, I'm incompetent, I'm not incompetent, because that gets into a they said versus you said versus a medical doctor said.
But I have actual evidence.
Neil,
no.
Stop. That's a losing proposition for you. But if you take the case of these people knowingly caused me distress.
And I'm telling you they did, and you're not believing me.
It's not a matter of believing you, Neil. It's about where I'm trying to help you win.
If you would help me, you would take this case. But you were basically giving me advice and telling me to go fuck off again.
Neil.
No, that's the truth. Well, for $500, go there, plead guilty. That's what I would do. That's what you told me over the summer.
Because
that's a fucking. You didn't want to defend me, and now you're refusing to defend me. Now you're just trying to give me more bullshit advice instead of having my back as an American and say yes, I'll have your back. You're trying to get rid of me again. You don't believe me. I have PTSD on top of all the autism because of this.
That's not the reason, Neil.
I'm a victim in all this. There's plenty of evidence. How can they throw me in the fucking Baker Act and lock me up just like that, but I can't get any vindication, huh? Why is that? Because everyone takes everyone else's side but my own. The victim is never believed in this country. Never. The victim is told to go fuck off and figure it out themselves. No one's actually willing to take the time to help someone in this country anymore. If you actually had a fucking heart, you'd help me. You told me to plead guilty. You told me to plead guilty. You support lying men. You support men that believe it's okay to kill black men.
That's not true.
Oh, that is true. By telling me to piss off, you're shitting on this country. You're shitting on the memory of a former police officer, and you're shitting on this country. You're shitting on the American flag that you fought for, that they stole. You're refusing to help me fight the good fight against a church that's pure fucking evil.
Neil, if you listen to me, I am not allowed to, by law, take your case because I work mental health cases on behalf of the state. I can't represent you because of that.
Right, so you're prosecution. You're the government, so I am right. You are the government. You are the enemy. You are supporting the enemy. You are the enemy. Holy shit, you're the enemy. You're the fucking enemy. You came back from a fucking war and did like everything else. You went to fucking work for the government.
It's up to you.
No, you're the enemy. You work for the state. You support their mental. You support what they did because you're the enemy.
All right, Neil, I'm going to hang up now.
No, that's the truth. You just admitted you work for the government. So, of course, you can't help me because you work for the government. You'd be going after the government. You'd be going after these people that support murdering black people. You are part of the problem in this country because you work for the government.
Goodbye, Neil.
Yeah, goodbye. I'm putting you in my musical, by the way. This is all going in my musical for self-defense.